Welcome to Grand Prix. This is your favorite place to get the fastest news about Formula One racing. We have 3 exciting stories for you today, so make sure to click subscribe and hit the bell to stay updated with all the latest news. Let's start. Ferrari has a really important day coming this Wednesday at a racetrack called Mugello. The Italian racing team is finally going to test their brand new back part that helps the car turn better on their SF25 race car. After working for weeks and weeks and using lots of computer tests, the team is really excited to see if it works as good as they hope it will. According to a racing news website called Motorsport Italia, the computer tests with the new back part showed that the car could go much faster, especially when it comes to staying steady and making the tires last longer. These were 2 of the biggest problems with the SF25 car this season. The first computer results show that the car might go about 0.1 seconds faster each time around the track. While that might not sound like much, in Formula One racing where cars are super close, it could mean the difference between winning a trophy or finishing in the middle of all the cars. This upgrade is all about making the car work better, not making it more wind-friendly. So the team focused on making the car handle better when the driver hits the brakes, when going around corners, and when speeding up. Ferrari's smart car builders think this new back part will help drivers Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton have a car that acts the same way every time, so they can drive faster. This will especially help during long races where the tires get worn out, which has been a big problem for the team all season. This Wednesday's test means driving 200 kilometers with a new setup. Both Leclerc and Hamilton will get to drive the SF25 to tell the team what they think. Leclerc likes to turn into corners really hard, and Hamilton likes the back of the car to be really stable when speeding up. This will help Ferrari understand how well the upgrade works in real racing situations. If the results are as good as the computer tests showed, Ferrari plans to use the new back part as early as the Belgian Grand Prix at a track called Spa-Francorchamps. This timing would give them a really important tool to fight against McLaren, Mercedes, and Red Bull, which is still dangerous in the second half of the season. Plus, the team thinks this improvement is more than just a quick fix for 2025, with big rule changes coming in 2026, including Ferrari's new engine and updated car rules. What they learn from this back part design could help them build their next car. Basically, this isn't just about getting faster now, it's about making sure Ferrari can compete well in the future. But Ferrari's enemy teams aren't just sitting around doing nothing. McLaren keeps getting better with how fast they make their car better during the season. Red Bull, even though they've had some tough times, is still scary because Verstappen is such an amazing driver, and Mercedes seems to have found their groove with their updated car design. For Ferrari, making this back part upgrade work is super important. If they don't want to become the 4th best team in what has turned into a really tough fight between teams, the pressure is real. Success at Mugello could put Ferrari back in the conversation for winning races and might change everything in a season that has shown some really good moments but hasn't been steady. But if it fails, the team might have to put all their attention on 2026 even earlier than they planned. So what do you think? Will Ferrari's new back part give them the breakthrough they need to fight for wins more often? Or is it too late for the team from Italy to climb back into the fight this year? Could this be the first step toward Ferrari getting really good again, or just another missed chance? Yuki Tsunoda's time at Red Bull seems to be coming to an end. According to sources from GP Blog, the Austrian team has decided they don't want to keep the Japanese driver after the 2025 season ends. If Max Verstappen stays with Red Bull, he will get a new teammate for 2026. It's important to remember that Tsunoda got moved up from Racing Bulls, which used to be called AlphaTauri, to the main Red Bull racing team earlier this season. He replaced Liam Lawson after just 2 races. People saw this move as risky, meant to bring in fresh energy and maybe push Verstappen in a way that Perez and Lawson hadn't done. But after 10 races, the results have been disappointing. Tsunoda has only gotten points once, a 9th place finish, while all his other races have left him with no points at all. Red Bull's bosses are reportedly not happy. The team hoped that Tsunoda's exciting racing style and how much he grew during his years with AlphaTauri would turn into better results. But instead, the experiment seems to have not worked, leading to the decision to say goodbye at the end of 2025. Even though the results haven't been good, Tsunoda will probably stay in the car until the last race of the season. Meanwhile, his managers are busy looking for options for 2026. One of the most likely places we could go is Aston Martin. With Honda becoming Aston Martin's engine supplier in 2026, the Japanese car company, which has been helping Tsunoda's F1 career from the very beginning, could use their influence to get him a testing job or backup driver role. This would at least keep Tsunoda connected to the F1 world and Honda's long-term plans. Cadillac, another team that might take drivers who don't have seats, seems to have turned their attention to other names like Sergio Perez, Valtteri Bottas, and Mick Schumacher. Further down the list of teams, there don't seem to be many chances for Tsunoda either. Teams like Haas or Williams haven't shown much interest so far, meaning his 6th season in Formula One could very well be his last as a full-time driver. This situation shows just how tough Formula One can be. Tsunoda, who people once called Japan's great hope for bringing in new fans, now faces an uncertain future. His raw talent and aggressive driving style have been praised before, but being steady and consistent has always been his biggest weakness. The Red Bull environment, which is famous for being really harsh about performance, has given him very little room to make mistakes. On the other hand, some people argue that Tsunoda has never really had the right race car to show what he can really do. At AlphaTauri, he was often held back by cars that didn't work well. Now at Red Bull, he has to compete against someone as good as Verstappen, making even decent drives look bad in comparison. Could it be that with a supportive team and a competitive car, Tsunoda might still show the promise that Honda saw in him years ago? As the F1 silly season heats up, Tsunoda's fate will depend on more than just how well he races. Honda's support remains his strongest advantage, but with younger talents rising quickly through the lower racing series and teams increasingly wanting drivers who are proven and consistent, the window of opportunity is closing fast. So what do you think? Has Tsunoda's time in F1 come to an end, and should Red Bull have cut ties earlier? Or do you believe he still has hidden potential and deserves another chance with a team that can give him the tools to succeed? Could Aston Martin's Honda partnership be the lifeline that keeps him racing on the grid? Hey friends, what's up? Big news today about Cadillac joining Formula One and the drivers who are expected to lead the American team's first season in 2026. Over the past few months, there's been a lot of guessing about who would get the two special seats, with names like Valtteri Bottas, Sergio Perez, Felipe Drugovich, Mick Schumacher, and Colton Herta being talked about. Cadillac made it clear from the start that their goal was to announce at least one of their drivers by the middle of the season, and ideally pair an experienced veteran with a promising young talent. Well, nothing is official yet. A huge update came out this Tuesday. According to Auto Evolution and now being talked about across motorsport news websites worldwide, Sergio Perez is set to be announced as Cadillac's first official driver right after the Hungarian Grand Prix, the last race before Formula One's summer break. The report says that Perez's deal was made possible directly by Mexican billionaire Carlos Slim, who has supported Checo throughout much of his career, including during his time with Red Bull for Cadillac. Signing Perez would check several important boxes: an experienced racer with 4 career wins, a second-place finish in the Drivers' Championship, and 2 team championships as part of Red Bull's winning campaigns. Even though his exit from Red Bull in 2024 wasn't smooth, Perez's knowledge of working within a top-level team could be really valuable too. Cadillac, as they try to establish themselves quickly in F1. At 35 years old, Perez would fulfill Cadillac's desire for an experienced leader to guide the team through its first seasons under the sport's completely new 2026 rules. His ability to help develop a car and teach a younger teammate could be really important, especially as Cadillac joins a highly competitive field. As for the second seat, Auto Evolution reports that the decision seems to be narrowing down to 2 candidates: Valtteri Bottas and Mick Schumacher. Bottas, currently a backup driver for Mercedes, remains the top choice. The Finnish driver brings 10 years of F1 experience, 10 Grand Prix wins, and a reputation as a reliable and consistent performer. However, Bottas is also in talks with Alpine, which could make things complicated for Cadillac's plans. If Bottas chooses Alpine, that could open the door for Mick Schumacher. The young German, son of 7-time world champion Michael Schumacher, has been quietly rebuilding,